What's going on, fight fans? It's your host Sebastian, and welcome back to the Boxing Tip. Now, I couldn't keep my mouth shut. I cannot wait for this fight to happen. It is honestly one of my most anticipated fights for 2017, and I'm so happy that it's happening so early. But like I said, I couldn't wait for that time to roll around. I had to talk about this fight now. Now, this isn't going to be my official breakdown or prediction video for it. This is more to just kind of give you an early look at the matchup between Jose Sniper Pedraza versus Gervonta Tank Davis. Both are undefeated fighters. This will be Gervonta Tank Davis's first title shot for Jose Pedraza's IBF title at 130 pounds. Now, why I like this fight so much is because, for one, it makes for a very entertaining fight. We know Jose Pedraza as a volume puncher, likes to throw a lot of punches, but there is some technique behind it, and I'm going to talk about that here in just a little bit. But first, I want to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis. He is honestly one of my most looked out for fighters, that I keep my eye on, because I just feel that he is like a super prospect, if you will. Very talented kid, man. There's not enough I could say about Gervonta Davis, and I'm not just trying to hype him up, for the sake of hyping this fight up. I just really do feel like Gervonta Davis is a serious threat, or is a serious problem at 130 pounds. What I like about Gervonta Davis the most is that he is a slickster who isn't afraid to go out there and try to knock your fucking head off, but he's gonna look very spectacular in doing so. He has amazing defense. He has a lot of good upper body kind of rolling with the shoulders movement, to avoid a lot of straight punches, hook, looping shots and whatnot. His punch selection is amazing. He throws punches remaining completely balanced, doesn't lunge, doesn't overextend himself. A lot of his shots are really short and sharp punches, yet he isn't afraid to kind of put some distance out there to hit you at a distance as well. You know what I'm saying? He isn't afraid to throw his reach out there and hit you at a distance. He is a very aggressive fighter given his style. He likes to use his feet, to get him close to you, get him close enough, and then he starts to use his defense to kind of lure you in, and then will capitalize on your missing with very hard counter punching. But it doesn't just stop there. He is actually very good at pressing the offense as well. He's got a great jab. He's good at using his jab to kind of probe for openings to land some really good shots. Another thing I like about Gervonta Davis, and it's the same reason why I like Jose Pedraza, is that he is a very good body puncher. He isn't a headhunter. He likes to kind of mix up his shots, hit you to the body, come back up top, throw some of the best uppercuts that I've seen. Perfect form. He is a spectacular boxer, in my opinion. I do like what I see when I see Gervonta Davis fight. I mean, he does get hit with punches. I mean, I'm pretty sure with good footwork, you might be able to gain some advantages and kind of break through his defense. You know what I'm saying? With some good footwork, but he has good feet of his own. You know what I'm saying? So if he's ever out of position, he can quickly make an adjustment to get himself back into position to defend or to go on offense. So Gervonta Davis, very versatile fighter. I like him a lot. Hard hitter. Only one person has gone the distance with him so far, and it's looking like he's shooting straight for the top of the 130-pound division. This will be a major stepping stone for him if he's able to overcome the volume punching of Jose Pedraza. Now, Jose Pedraza, he likes to punch in volume, throws a lot of combinations to the head and to the body. He is also an effective body puncher as well. What I like about Jose Pedraza, though, the most is that, given his style of fighting, or given his aggression, he isn't one of those square up with you and stay right in front of you and trade shots kind of fighter. He does use a lot of aggression in his game, but he sets it up very smart. And what I mean is that he'll throw a lot of these, combinations to kind of get you to shell up and get you on your guard, while it distracts you from actually making subtle movements to put you at an angle to hit you at. You know what I'm saying? Because standing right in front of you, your straight shots are going to work pretty good because they travel down, a straight line trajectory, as to where hooks are more looping if you're more squared up. Well, he likes to kind of step off to an angle and throw those hook shot, the hooks, the right hook, the left hook, because it puts you at more of an angle for that hook to travel down a straight line. If that makes any sense, you'd have to just watch him fight. You'll see what I'm talking about if you go back and watch some of like Jose Pedraza's highlights. Now, will that be effective against someone who's able to move so fluidly like Gervonta Davis? It depends. It depends on who's on the back foot. If Gervonta Davis is backing up Jose Pedraza, then that might determine who the winner of the fight is going to be. Gervonta Davis, like I said, is a powerful puncher, so Pedraza, I'm sure, is going to have some form of respect for Gervonta Davis's power. But Jose Pedraza works well going forward, as to where Gervonta Davis works well walking you down or fighting off of the back foot. You know what I'm saying? Or fighting, moving backwards or moving laterally. He works well in either direction he decides to move and punch at. So that's the big question, is if Jose Pedraza is able to kind of back up Gervonta Davis, yet being able to cut the ring off, but using using angles to approach Gervonta Davis to get him out of position to return fire. If he's able to do that and get off to the side of Gervonta Davis, I think he could be very productive in the fight. But he's going to have to watch out for some very fast counter punching, because Gervonta Davis throws punches very quickly. He is a very fast puncher. Combined with his explosiveness, he makes for a pretty dangerous fighter. But that's what makes this fight so exciting to me, guys. It's two guys who have never been beaten, yet it seems risky for either fighter going into this fight. Who knows if Gervonta Davis can handle the overwhelming punch output by Jose Pedraza if Pedraza decides to approach the fight in that manner. But Jose Pedraza also has pretty good head movement and pretty decent defense, given his style. I've seen him backing up, kind of roll punches off of his shoulder, uses really good head movement, has a good jab also, and is able to do kind of like fade counters, or slip and throw a counter punch over like his opponent's jab. I've seen him do that very well too. So these guys are pretty versatile fighters going in to this fight, and I feel like it's one of those pick'em type of fights. You know what I'm saying? Depending on what your flavor is, or what kind of style you like to see, or what style you feel is more effective or is gonna have the advantage going in. It's really a pick'em fight. Me personally, I'm not going to reveal who I think the winner is of this fight, or who I think is going to win. I'll do that once it gets a little bit closer to fight time. But all I could say is that for the time I've known about this fight being made, my opinion has switched back and forth. Every time I watch one of these guys fight, or if I go back like on YouTube or something and I watch one of their fights, or I watch some highlights, I don't really know who the clear winner is going to be. You know what I'm saying? And not to mention, it's hard to make a prediction because you just don't really know what someone's game plan is going to be when they go into the fight. If Jose Pedraza thinks he's going to just be able to go in there and, bully Gervonta Davis, that's not, in my opinion, going to work, because Gervonta Davis is such a hard puncher. You know what I'm saying? Moving forward and putting yourself in line to be hit by a guy who hits very hard isn't a very smart move tactically. It's a good idea to push, try to bully Gervonta Davis and get him into a brawl that he doesn't want to be in, but you got to do it in a way that remains defensively responsible for you, to keep you out of line from if you plan on bullying the hard puncher, be smart about it. Don't go straight, you know what I'm saying? Don't go straight forward or back straight up if you need to. You need to come at him at a different angle. Gervonta Davis is a southpaw. Jose Pedraza is an orthodox fighter. So when you get a matchup like this, making an angle seems to be a little bit easier, but it's an advantage that can go for either guy, because the same advantages a southpaw has over an orthodox fighter, the same an orthodox fighter has over a southpaw. It doesn't really make a difference. So if Jose Pedraza is able to get on the inside of Gervonta Davis's left foot, giving up lead foot dominance, but able to avoid Gervonta Davis's left hand, then he could really put him in line to do a lot of good counter punching, especially for Jose Pedraza's lead hand, or his left hand. Same with Gervonta Davis. If he wants to get away from the volume punching of Jose Pedraza, all he has to do is get on the outside of Jose Pedraza's lead foot. However they decide to approach it. It really depends on the angle that they go at each other. If either of them come straight forward, it could spell trouble for either guy. So, it's exciting. It kind of makes me nervous thinking about it now, because I don't know. I've never seen either guy lose, so I don't know what it's like for them. I can't imagine either guy losing. I just know somebody's going to. But I want to know what you guys think, man. This is an early look on the fight. If you're anticipating this fight like I am, let me know what you think. Who do you think's going to win? Or better yet, what do you think either fighter needs to do in order to win? I didn't really say too much about that, because I have to, kind of study the fighters just a little bit more, and maybe see if I can find some chinks in their armor, and then I'll know what either fighter needs to do to kind of capitalize on the other fighter's flaws. But as of right now, I stand pretty 50-50 on this fight. But I'm pretty sure who I know. I'm pretty sure I know who I'm gonna be picking once it gets closer to fight time. But until then, guys, share the video with your boxing homies. Introduce somebody to boxing, especially for them to, get them all caught up on these two guys, and make sure they're watching in January, because this fight is going to be a good one. But maybe I'll make another video about this particular fight. But until then, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Sebastian from The Boxing Tip signing out. Peace.